AutoCAD. AutoCAD is a basic fundamental software for civil engineers, mechanical engineers and electrical engineers, even for the architects and interiors. Rather than creating manual 2D drawings, then we should use the AutoCAD for it. And if you want to learn complete AutoCAD, then this video is for you. So hello everyone, this is Manjula from 4Dimension Infotech. Let's learn now.
Hello all, welcome to day 1. In day 1 we are going to learn about user interface, unit, limits, zoom, line and ortho commands. Now let's start the same thing. So whenever you install any version of the software, you have to double click to open that particular software. So once you open the software, you can able to see the welcome screen like this. In the welcome screen we have the options called open, new and recent. So if you want to continue the recent drawing, then you can click on the particular recent drawing, or else if you want to open the drawing from the particular location, then you go to the particular location and open it. So now if you want to start the new drawing, then you directly click on the new option, or else you click on this arrow mark and then take the particular template, that is acad.dwt. Sometime if you don't find this template, you have to click on the browse template and then select the acad.dwt template. acad.dwt template is nothing but Autodesk Automatic Computer Aided Drafting and Drawing Template. We use this for the 2D drawing, so click on the open option. So once you entered inside the software, so let's start the user interface now. At the left corner here we have a new application toolbar. Just expand that. Once you expand, here you can see new, open, save, save as option, etc. Just after the new application toolbar, you can find the quick access toolbar. Whatever the options we have in the new application toolbar, the same options we have in the quick access toolbar, like new, open, save, save as, undo, etc. So if you want to customize this quick access toolbar, then you click on this arrow mark and then you can customize. Below the quick access toolbar, you can find the menu bar like file, edit, view, insert, etc. Sometime if you don't find the menu bar, then you click on this arrow mark and then it may be hidden like this. So if I want to show it again click on the arrow mark and show menu bar. Below the menu bar, you can find the toolbar or ribbon bar, we can say. This toolbar is divided into different panels like draw, modify, annotation, etc. Below the toolbar, we have a file tab. In the file tab, as I already told you the start one, and then now I am clicking on the drawing one. So sometime if you don't find the file tab option, you can go to the view option and make sure your file tab option is on here. If it is off, then you don't find the file tab option. Make sure file tab option is on. Below the file tab option, you can find the working area or working space. This working space is consisting of number of horizontal and vertical grid lines. At the left corner, we have the UCS, that is User Coordinate System or Universal Coordinate System. And then here we have a view controls. So make sure you are in the top view, or else if you want to create any other views like left view, right view, front view, and then you can click on the particular views. Just after that, here we have a view style. For 2D, we can click the 2D wireframe option. For in 3D mode, we can go to the conceptual, hidden and realistic. And here in the right corner, we have a view cube option. So here from this view cube option also you can operate the different views like left, right, like that. Again, so you can click on this home symbol and make sure in the top view to create the top views. Before going to start the new work, we have to do the basic setting like unit. In the unit we have two type of unit, that is decimal unit and architectural unit, depending on the requirement. So if you want to draw your drawing in meter, millimeter and centimeter, keep your unit as decimal. And if you want to do your drawing in feet and inch, then keep your unit as architectural. Let's start the same thing in the AutoCAD now. To set the unit, you have to type UN, enter. So once you type the UN, enter, you will get the drawing unit pop-up dialog box like this. And then in the length option, you keep decimal to do the drawing in meter, millimeter and centimeter. So if you want to do the drawing in feet and inch, then you keep your length as architectural and say inch here. And in the inch and feet, always you have to go with the inch option, because as compared to feet and inch is small. Now my drawing is in meter or millimeter, whatever it may be. I am switching it to decimal and you keep the unit as millimeter. So come to the precision now. So here I have a 0.00 000 4 times 0 like this. This is deciding your round up value. Depending on the requirement, you have to select the precision. Now, another method to set the unit is go to the menu bar option, click on the format and click on the unit and do the same setting as I explained earlier. Once you set the unit, the second basic setting we have to do is limit. Let's start with the limit now. So the reason behind this to set the limit is we are just limiting the working area. So limit is nothing but we have to keep only the wanted area. For that, type LIM, enter. Once you type LIM, enter, just read the information. It is asking us to specify the lower left corner. I want to start my workspace from the origin, that is 0, 0. That is nothing but x coordinate and y coordinate. Enter. Next, it is asking us to specify the upper right corner, that is the working space where you want to end up. You can say 100, 100, enter. Now, there is no changes in the snap and grid. In order to do the changes or in order to apply this limit, we have to type DS, enter. Once you type DS, enter, click on the snap and grid option and make sure your display grid beyond limit option is off. Then click on OK. Now we are getting only the wanted area. We are losing the unwanted area. So sometimes if you don't find this limit area, then maybe it may zoom in like this. With the help of your scroll button, make it zoom out. Or else press Z, enter, A, enter like this. Let's start with the first command, that is line. So go to the draw panel and click on the line command and start doing the work. Now it is asking us to click the first point and move it in up, down, right or left. Now say you can give 30 mm, enter. Move it in up or down direction depending on the requirement, 30, enter. Move it in left, 30, enter. Move it down, 30, enter. Next, I want to end up this line here itself. For that, right click and enter. Now, again, as I already told you, for the line command, you can go with the short key, that is L, enter, and click it again. Make sure your F8 is on to make your line straight, or else if you want to move your line in an inclined way, then this should be off like this. Now again I am clicking it on, and now you can go ahead to display the distance. Now in case if I want to give both the distance and angle, now say you can have a 30 mm, and then in the next line I have to give the distance and angle. In the first box I have to give the distance, and in the second box I have to give the angle. So as you can say, 30 mm is your distance, and press tab button to move the cursor in the next box. Just have a look on my cursor. So always the software is measuring the angle from the anti-clockwise direction, because I ended the line in that direction. It is displaying 180 degree, but now I want to give the 60 degree, means I have to minus it out of 180. So 180 minus 60 is nothing but 120 and enter. Now I know the end point where I have to finish my line. then click it here and press escape. Once you've done your drawing, then you have to save this current drawing. For that, you have to go to the new application toolbar and click on the save as option. Always you have to create your own folder. For that, I am going to this PC icon and then go to the particular drive, create your own folder and then give the name like Autocad exercises. Open that particular folder and then say day 1. While doing save, so how to make sure the file type is .dwg. By default it is 2018.dwg file and then hit on save. In day 1 we learned these commands. In day 2 we learn more commands. Kindly go through the attached PDF to do the exercises. Thank you. Hello all. In day 2 we are going to learn the commands like pan, circle, zoom extend, trim, rectangle, offset, distance and ellipse. Now let's start this. So as you can see, I have the last exercises here. So now if I want to pan this page, then I have to go with the short key, that is P, enter, to pan the screen. Or else you can, at the right corner you have the pan command to pan it. First come out from the running command by pressing escape and then operate the next command. Now if I want to zoom extend, then press Z enter and E enter, so that you can zoom out like this to check any errors. And again, now if I want to come to the original zoom location, then you have to press Z enter, A enter. So before going to move to the next command, I want to delete this one. For that I press Ctrl A to select all and hit on delete. Now let's learn the next command, that is circle. To operate the circle command, we have to go with the draw panel. In the draw panel we have the circle. Expand this arrow mark to get the different types of the circles. In the circle, we have 6 methods of the circle. The first one is center radius, center diameter, 2 point, 3 point, tangent radius and tangent. Or else you can go with the short key. For the circle, C is the short key. Now to get the other types of the circle, you can go to the draw panel or else you can have a look on the command bar. So now if I want to draw the circle, then go with a particular method, that is your center and radius method. For better understand, let's go with the exercise what we have now. So here you can see we have the first line, that is about 100 mm, and then we have the circle. As I told you in the yesterday's session, we have to set the unit first, UN enter, and then decimal and millimeter. Check the unit first. As per the exercise, first I draw the line by using line command, that is L enter. Click the first point and move it and give the distance like 100 mm, enter. And come out from the command by pressing escape. So now I have to draw the circle. As per the exercises, the circle radius is 16, so that go with the short key, that is C enter, and then it is asking me to specify the center point. Click the center point, that is your end point of the line, and then move the mouse and give the radius as per the exercise, that is 16, enter. Now also we have to draw the one more circle. The diameter of the circle is 68. So you go to the circle method and take the center diameter method. Click the same center, move the mouse and give the diameter as 68. Repeat the same process by operating the center method. Click the center and radius, that is 16, enter. Go to the diameter method, center diameter. Click the same center and move the mouse and give the diameter like 68, enter. Like this, you can operate with the first two types of the circle. Now the third type is 2.1. For better understand, let's draw the 2 point by using the line command. First I draw the first line. and then second line. So assume that you have a 2 point. So if I want to draw the circle by using these points, then I go to the circle method, that is 2 point circle. Take the 2.1, click the first point and then move the mouse and click on the second point. In the same way, when you have a 3 point, so for better understand, I am going with the 3 point. I have a 3 point. To draw the circle by using these 3 points, I go to the 3 point circle method. Then you click the first, second and third. So as per the exercise, we have to draw the one more circle, that is radius and then tangency to these circles. For that I go to the next method, that is tangent, tangent, radius. Click on this tangent and radius is 42. Let's go with the last method, that is tangent, tangent, tangent circle. Click on the first tangent, second tangent and third tangent. Like this way you can operate with the circle command. Let's learn the next command, that is rectangle. To operate the rectangle, you have to go to the draw menu bar and then click on the rectangle option. So always, as I told you in the earlier session also, read the information first. It is asking me to specify the first corner. Click the first corner and just move the mouse. Now we have to give the dimension like x-axis distance and y-axis distance. Always we have to give the x distance first and then y. Say you can have to draw 30, 30, enter. Like this way you can operate with the square option. In the same way, if you want to draw the rectangle, then click the first corner and then move the mouse, give 30, 40, enter. This is how we operate the square or rectangle by using the rectangle method. For the same rectangle, if I want to apply the chamfer and fillet, chamfer is nothing but the sharp edges and then fillet is nothing but the smooth round corner. So for that also I go to the rectangle command and then before going to operate, you have to read the information displaying on the screen, or else you can go to the command bar. Here we have the sub options like chamfer and fillet. If I want to apply the chamfer, before going to draw the rectangle, you have to apply the chamfer property to the rectangle. Click on the chamfer. It is asking me to click the first distance for the rectangle. It means how much distance you want to cut from the x distance. Say example 2, enter. Now it is asking me to specify the second chamfer distance. Say 2, enter. Now I have done with the chamfer distance. It is asking me to specify the first corner. Click the first corner and move it. Now we have to give the distance of x and y. You can say 10, 10, enter. Like this way you can operate with the chamfer command. In the same way, for the rectangle, if I want to apply the smooth corner, you can go with the shortcut of the rectangle, that is REC. As I told you, before going to apply the sub properties, you have to apply the properties like fillet. Click on the fillet option. For fillet is nothing but you have to mention the radius to make it smooth. The radius is say 3, enter. Now click the first corner and move the mouse. You can now give the dimension of the x-axis and y-axis, that is 10, 10, enter. So this is how you operate with the sub-properties of the rectangle. So in order to select all these drawings, I have to press Ctrl A and delete. In order to do this exercise, first we have to draw the square is about 30 by 30 and with equal distance of 10. So to do this same thing, we have to go with the command like offset. First, before that I have to draw the square by using the rectangle command. You can go to the draw panel and you click on the rectangle command, or else you go with the shortcut, that is REC. Click the first corner and just move the mouse. Now sometime if we get the earlier properties, then you press escape and again take the new rectangle and then go to the sub properties of the fillet. Whatever the property you are getting, you make it 0. Then next, click the first corner and the dimension of the square is 30, 30, enter. Now I have to copy it with the equal distance of 10. So for that I am going to use the offset command. Go to the modify panel and then you can click on the offset. Or else you can go with the short key, that is O, enter, and it is asking me to specify the distance, that is 10 as per the exercise, and enter. Select the object to do the offset. Select the object and move it inside or outside according to the requirement and click. Same way, click the second square and then move it. Click the third one and move it. Continue the same process to complete the exercise. If I want to delete only the bottom portion, then I am going to use the command like trim. To operate the trim command, you have to go to the modify and then trim. Or else you go with the short key, that is TR double enter. Now it is asking me to select the object. You can select one by one, or else you can click here and drag the portion, whichever the portion you want to delete, and come out from the command by pressing escape. Now we are learning the ellipse command. In ellipse we have two types, that is center method and then minor and major axis method. In figure 1, first we have to click the center point and then you have to click the half of the x distance or half of the y distance, that is minor axis and major axis. In second pick we have to click the first point and then give the major axis, and then from the center point you have to give the minor axis. In order to do the same thing, now I am shifting to the Autocad. Just below the rectangle, here we have a ellipse. Go to the ellipse method and center. First we have to operate with the center method. Then it is asking me to specify the center method. Once you click the center, you have to move it in a x distance or y distance. Before that, make sure your F8 is on. Then you can give the x distance, say you can say 40 or vertical is 30. Like this way you can operate with the ellipse command. In the same another way, you can operate the axis method also. Click on the axis method. Now I am clicking the first point of the major axis and give the distance like 80, enter, and from the center point we have to mention the half of the y, that is you can say 20 or 10 as per the exercise. In order to check the distance between any two points, then you have to go with the distance command. For that you have to type di, enter, and then click the first point and then second point like this. To do the exercises, kindly go through the PDF which is attached in the description. In the next session, we learn the other commands. Thank you. Hello. In day 3, we are going to learn the commands like polyline, polygon, chamfer, fillet, and explode. So now let's learn these commands. The first one is polyline. So just like a line command, you can operate the polyline command. To operate the polyline, you can go to the draw panel and then you can click on the polyline. Or else you can go with the short key, that is PL, enter. So as I already told in the last session, always you have to read the information to operate any command. So it is asking me to specify the start point, click the point, and then now make sure if you want to draw it in a straight, then your ortho is on. Then I have to give the distance like 10, 20, whatever it may be. Zoom it to enlarge your drawing. Then if I want to draw the arc, then no need to take the arc command from the draw panel. In the polyline itself, we have the sub options like arc. So you can switch it to the arc, or else right click and take the arc command. So for the arc, we have to give the diameter of the arc. You can switch the direction to the down or up, and then you can give the distance like 20, 30, whatever it may be. Now if I want to continue the same arc, you can continue according to the direction, or else if I want to take the line command again, you can switch the line command from the command bar and then give the next distance 30, 40, whatever it may be, and zoom in. So we have one more option, that is width. To click on the width, you can go to the command bar, or else you right click and click on the width option. Whenever you click on the width option, we have to mention the starting width and then end width. You can say 2 enter and 2 enter. Now, once you give the width, you have to give the distance of the line. You can say 20 enter. Next, if I want to remove the width of the previous, then you right click and click on the width option, make it 0 enter and 0 enter. Now, if I want to end up this to the starting point, then you can right click and say close. So like this you can operate with the polyline command. Whenever I select this one, the whole object is getting selected. This is the number of lines connected while the line is a single entity. Next command is polygon. To get the polygon command, you can go to the draw panel. In that, just below the rectangle, you have a polygon command. So just keep your cursor on the polygon command. We get the methods of the polygon, that is inscribed and circumscribed. Inscribed is nothing but inside the circle you will get a polygon. Circumscribed is nothing but outside the circle you will get a polygon. Depending on the requirement, we have to select this method. Let's work out with this. Take a polygon command. Now it is asking me the number of sides. If you want to draw the triangle, 3, rectangle, 4, pentagon, 5, hexagon, 6, like that way. So let's go with the triangle, 3, enter. Now it is asking me to specify the center of a polygon. Click the center. Now let's select the method, inscribed method. Now we have to give the distance between the center point to the corner of a polygon. You can say 5, enter. So we go to the other method with the help of short key, that is POL. Same way, 3, enter. Click the center point, circumscribed method, and just move the mouse and give the distance. This distance is nothing but center to the midpoint of your polygon. Say 5, enter. So now if it is overlapping, with the help of move command you can move it. By pressing M, enter, you will get the move command. Select the object and enter. Click any point and then just move it. Now in order to check the distance between these polygon, you can go with the distance method. DI, enter. This is nothing but center to the corner point is 5. Escape. Again DI, enter. This is the distance between center to the midpoint is 5. So if I don't know these distances and if I know the distance of the edge of a polygon, then you go with the polygon. Then give the number of sides is 3 and in the command bar you have to select the edge method. Click the first point and give the length of the each segment of a polygon or each side of a polygon. You can say 5, enter. So in this way you can operate with the polygon command depending on the requirement. Next commands are chamfer and fillet. In chamfer we have two methods, that is distance and angle method. So just have a look on my figure. So whenever we know the x distance and y distance, you can go to the distance method, and in the figure as displaying, when we know the x distance and y angle, then you go with the angle method. Come to the fillet now. Fillet is nothing but whenever you want to make your edges as smooth by giving the radius, then you operate with the fillet command. Let's work out with the Autocad now. In Autocad we are already having the two geometries or two shapes. One shape is drawn with the help of line command. Press escape. One geometry is drawn with the help of polyline. Press escape. Now if I want to apply a chamfer or if I want to make this corner as a sharp, then you apply the chamfer command. To get the chamfer command, you go to the modify panel and just you go to the fillet option. Just below the fillet option we have a chamfer, or else you go with the short key, that is CHA, enter. As I already told you how to select the method first. When we know x distance and y distance, you can assume we know the distance. Click on the distance method, read the information, specify first chamfer distance, means in x-axis how much amount you want to cut, you can say 2, enter. Specify second chamfer distance is nothing but distance from the y-axis, that is 2. And then now if I want to apply to any one corner, directly I can click on the X line and Y line. But if I want to operate or apply to the multiple corners, then you click on the multiple option. So click the first X line and Y line, X line and Y line, X, X and Y, X and Y. So come out from the command by pressing escape. In the same way, when your geometry is drawn with the help of polyline or rectangle, then you go with the chamfer command again and give the distance, that is 2 enter and 2 enter. Now in this case, I don't select the multiple, I just select on the polyline because the geometry is drawn with the help of polyline. Now you can just select the geometry, will get the chamfer or sharp edges at a time. In the same way, I just do a Ctrl Z to make it undo. Sometime if I know the distance and angle, then I take a chamfer command. So you can click on the angle method. It is asking me to specify the first length, that is amount to cut in the X direction. You can say 4, and chamfer angle from the first line, that is angle of the Y line. You can say 45 degree. Then as I told you already, you can click on the polyline to apply at a time to the 4 corners and then click the geometry. I just do Ctrl Z. Take the same command now. We have another options like trim. So you can go with the distance method or angle method. I am clicking on the distance method and giving the distance like 4 enter and 4 enter. Now if I don't want to trim the edges, then I go to the trim option and then I say no trim. And now again I click on the polyline and you can click on the polyline like this. When you want to apply the fillet to these geometries, then you click on the modify panel and click on the fillet. Or else you can go with the shortcut, that is F enter. As I already explained in the figure, for the fillet you have to mention the radius. Go to the command bar and then click on the radius, or else you have to type R enter. You can say the radius is 5, enter. Then if you want to apply for only one corner, then you can click or directly on the lines. And if I want to click on the multiple corners, then you click on the multiple. And then click the first line and second line. First line and second line. Same way, I am just pressing the escape now. Taking the fillet command again by pressing F enter and R enter. Give the radius 5. Now this geometry is drawn with the help of polyline. So before that, make sure how much radius you want. Click on the radius. Give the radius like 4 enter. And if you want to trim, then you can go to the trim option and say trim. If you don't want, and then you can say no trim. Then click on the polyline and then click on the geometry. So like this way you can operate with the polyline command. In case, so when we have a polyline, I just do Ctrl Z. I have a polyline geometry here, but in this case I want to apply the fillet or chamfer to any 2 corners only. Then I have to explode this geometry. To explode this geometry, you can go to the modify panel and then go to the explode command. Explode is nothing but it uses to break the compound object into component, just like a polyline and rectangle command into line or single entity. You can go with the shortcut, that is X enter, and then just select the object and enter. So now you can select the single entity as like a line command and press escape to come out from the running command. In the next video, we learn the other commands. Thank you. Hello. In day 4, we are going to learn the commands like object snap, properties, list, move and copy. Object snap snaps the object's points like insert, intersection, tangent, center, quadrant, midpoint and endpoint, etc. Let's learn this command now. To detect the object snap points as I explained, so you can go to the status bar option. Just have a look on my cursor. This is your F3. Make sure your snap cursor, that is F3, is on to detect the same points. If you don't find any particular points, then you go to the object snap setting option. There is a small arrow here. You can go to the object snap setting and make sure you are in the object snap option in the drafting setting, and then make it on all the options and hit on OK. So even if it is on, you can move the cursor over the object. I'm not getting any points. Make sure you should have any current command, and then you can just move the commands like this to get the end point, midpoint, geometric center, circle center point, etc. to get the accuracy of the drawing. As you can see here, when I take any command and then I'm just snapping it, these points are looking very small. So in order to customize this, first you come out from the running command and then you right click the mouse and go to the options option, and then make sure you are in the drafting mode, and you can increase the snapping mode properties and then aperture size, apply OK. Or else you can go to the DS enter, that is drafting setting. Before going to draw any drawing, so if you want to do any drafting setting, then you can go to the particular options. In this I go to the dynamic input and then click on the options, and you can do the same thing. Now let's check this icon. For that I'm going to take any command, and then you have a look on the end point, midpoint icon, any point icon to increase the size of that particular symbol. Next one is properties. Properties is one of the option in the draw panel. So by using this option we can change the color, thickness and line pattern as shown in the figure. So here we can change the line weight, line type and color of any selected object. Example, line weight to highlight the plot boundary or compound boundary, and then hidden line to show the hidden parts which are not visible in the particular level like chajja and slab projection line, and then center line to show the center line diagram, and then also to create the gas connection, hot water, cold water, drinking water and sanitary water supply. Let's learn this now. Go to the property option in the draw panel. So in the property we can change the object color and then line weight and then line type. So let's learn one by one. Select any object and then you can go to the object color, and then you can change the color according to the requirement. Change the other object and then you can go to the second option to apply the line weight. Depending on the requirement, you can apply the different by default thicknesses. Come out from the command by pressing escape and select the third one, or else any command or any geometry. You can go to the line type option and make sure you are having the other types. So if you don't have the other types, then you can click on the other option and then click on the load. So depending on the requirement, you have to select any one type of line type, or else if you want to load the number of line types, and then you can press the control and you select the number of lines and say OK. So it is asking you to reload. Say reload all the selected line types and hit on OK. So make sure you are having the same line types here. So select the object on which object you want to apply the line type. So go to the third option and you can apply the line type like this. Press escape. Even for this circle also you can apply the other type. So you can go to the line type option and you can apply the this one. If that line type is not visible properly, then you have to increase the scale of the line type. By using the LTS command, you can change the line type. For that, you have to type LTS, and now it is asking me that enter the new line type scale. The current value is 1. If you want to increase, you can give the more value than the 1. If you want to decrease, you can give the lesser value than the 1. So now I want to increase it. For that, you can give 3 or 4. But in this case, whatever the scale value I had given, so it apply for the both the line type. So if I want to change the individual, then you have to double click the line or circle confirm whether you have line type scale option or not, and then you can increase or decrease the value like this. So now close this option and press escape to come out from the current command. So same thing, if I want to apply the line type scale for this circle individually, double click on this circle and then confirm you have a line type scale option. So if you don't find this option, then you can go to the just below the close mark, you have a setting option or options. You can go to the customize and make sure you are selecting the circle command here, and you have to on the line type scale option and then apply OK. If sometimes the line weight is not visible on the screen, make sure your line weight option is on here. Just after the F3 there is an option called show or hide the line weight. If it is off, then you can't find the line weight. Make sure this option is on, or else you have to go with the shortcut that is LW to increase the thickness or decrease the thickness depending on the requirement, and then hit on OK. To get the same properties, even you can go with the shortcut that is Ctrl 1 to get the property. Make sure you are selecting the object to change the properties of a selected object, or else you can go with the CH enter. One more option to get the same thing, right click it and click on the property. So if you want to match the properties of the square to the circle, then you can go to the match property option, select the source object and then select the destination object and hit enter. So now if I want to move any object from one point to another point, then you can go to the modify panel and then you can click on the move, or else you can use the shortcut that is M enter. Now it is asking us to select the object and enter. So click the base point, which point you want to pick it and where you want to place. So if I want to pick this point and place it on the center of the circle, then again you click the destination point. So do Ctrl Z. If I want to copy the same object from here to here, then you can use the copy command from the modify panel, or else you can go to the shortcut that is copy. Select the object, say enter, click the base point in such a way that which point you want to intersect to the destination point. So now if I want to intersect the geometric center to the circle center, then I have to click this point and then I have to click the destination point. So now the same process will repeat the thing. So I have to come out from the running command. We continue to learn the other commands in the next class. Thank you. Hello all. In day 5 we are going to learn the commands like arc and its types, hatch, scale and stretch. Let's learn these commands now. Let's start the arc command. To get the arc command, you can go to the draw panel and click on the arc, or else you can go with the shortcut that is A enter. In the arc we have 11 methods. Depending on the requirement what we know, we select the particular method. The first one is 3 point. Click on that. You can select the first point, second point and third point. Go to the second method that is start, center and end. You can assume that this is your start point or this is your start point. Click on the start point, center point and then end. So it is moving in a anti-clockwise direction. So now I am deleting this. Go to the third method that is start, center and angle. When we know the start point, center point and also the angle, you can go to the third method. This is my start point and it is asking me to select the center, and now if I want to end up with the angle, that is you can say 45 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, whatever it may be. Now I am going with the angle 90, enter. Delete this one and go to the other method that is center, start and length. Now I want to measure the distance between the start point to end point. For that I am using the distance command. Click the start point and then end point. Now the length of the arc is 14.14. So that we go to the fourth method that is start, center and length. Click on the start point and then center point and give the length as 14.14. Enter. Hit on delete. Then you go to the other method, that is start, end and angle. So when we know start and when we know end, and now how much bend you want to give, that is nothing but you have to give the angle. So you can give the angle depending on the requirement. You can go 45, 50, whatever it may be, how much bend you want. Select that arc and delete it. Go to the other method, that is start, end and direction. Click on the start point and this is your end point, and then so if you want to move it outside or inside depending on the requirement is nothing but we have to give the angle to bend. Select and hit. Go to the other method, that is your start, end and radius. I am clicking on the start and end. How much radius you know. Sometimes if you know the radius, then you can go with this method and give the radius whatever the amount you know. And select and hit delete. Go to the other method, that is your center, start, end. Now I am clicking the center as my first point and then start, and then you can where you want to end up it, you can click. Select and hit delete. Go to the one more method, that is center, start and end. Again I am clicking on the center and start and end. Select and delete. Go to the next method, that is center, start and angle. Click on the center and start and how much angle you want. You can give now 180 or 270, how much amount you want. Select and delete. Go to the 10th method, that is your center, start and length. Same thing, I am clicking the first point as my center point and start, and the length already we know that in the last time, that is 14.14, enter. So now if I want to continue the recent arc, then you have a continue option to continue it. So depending on the shape or else depending on the requirement, you can continue the recent arc like this. Arc is used to draw the swimming pool design and then landscape design as shown in the figure. Next command is hatch. To get the hatch command, you can go to the draw panel and click on the hatch, or else you go with the shortcut, that is H, enter. Hatch is used to fill an enclosed area or selected object with a hatch pattern, solid fill or gradient fill. Make sure your geometry should be closed before going to apply the hatch command. In the hatch, we have three types, that is solid, gradient and pattern. Solid is nothing but you can fill up the geometry with a single color. So if you want to change the color of the hatch, you can go to the hatch color option and you can change the required color and then apply it to the closed geometry. So at a time also you can apply the different geometries and then close. So now I just do Ctrl Z to apply the pattern. Again I am going with the shortcut, that is H, enter, and then now I am clicking on the gradient option. Gradient is nothing but you can combine any two colors. So here we have a two color option. By default we are having blue and yellow, but if you want to change the color 1 and gradient color 2, you can change it depending on the requirement and apply it to closed geometry. So once you apply, here we have advanced modifications like hatch transparency and angle. So if you want to make it light or if you want to decrease the transparency, you can just scroll up it or else you can enter the value. So here we have an angle of rotation of the gradient. Depending on the requirement, you can change the angle of the gradient. Now I am closing. Next in the hatch option, we have the third method, that is pattern. Pattern is very important for the civil engineers and architects. It is used to show the material detailing, whether that part is made up of concrete, brick or any other material. Click on the pattern. So once you click, here you will have a by default different types of the patterns. Expand this arrow to get the more patterns, and then depending on the requirement, whether that part is made up of concrete or brick, so select that particular hatch pattern and apply. So once you apply, I'm just zooming it. So depending on the requirement, I'm just changing the angle. Even you can decrease the or increase the transparency. So sometimes if the hatch is not fitted to the geometry, even you can increase or decrease the scale. So now I am increasing it. You can make it 3 enter or 4 enter depending on the requirement and hit on close. Once you apply the hatch, if you want to edit, then you can select the hatch and then you can modify into solid, gradient or pattern. So here we have one more option, that is associative. When the associative is on, then in future if I want to increase the geometry, hatch will also increase. I just do Ctrl Z now. I am deleting this hatch and I apply the new hatch. In this case, I just off the associative option and I am closing it. In future, if I increase the radius or diameter of the circle, then hatch will not increase. This is the meaning of the associative. So like this, we can use the hatch gradient option to show the water in the swimming pool. And also, as I told you, here we can use the hatch pattern option to create the material description. Also, in order to create the landscape design with the material, we use the hatch pattern and other types. Let's learn the stretch command. For better understand, I just drawn the two geometry, that is the first geometry and second geometry. The first geometry I have drawn by using the line command. So line is a single entity, press escape. The second geometry is drawn with the help of rectangle command. As you know already, rectangle is nothing but number of lines connected to each other. Press escape. Now if I want to stretch this line to this target of first geometry, then you can click the midpoint. Already we have a stretch option. Click that and then you can stretch it till the target of 1. Make it escape and do Ctrl Z. First geometry, if I want to stretch this line till the target of second, then I am clicking the midpoint of this line and I am going to stretch. But I can't because of the single entity. I just do Ctrl Z. To do the stretch, we have to use the stretch command separately. For that, you click on the modify panel and then click on the stretch option. Or else you go with the shortcut, that is S, enter. Before going to stretch, let me teach you the selection method, that is window selection method and cross selection method. Cross selection method is nothing but you have to click left and then cover the whole object to select. This is how we select the geometry by using cross selection method. Press escape. Now I am going to select the same geometry by window selection method. Window selection method is nothing but you have to click right and then just cover the half of the geometry to select the geometry. So this is how we select the geometry by using window selection method. To apply the stretch command, always we have to select the object by window selection method. That is nothing but right to the left covering. Take the stretch command by pressing S, enter. Select the object by window selection. Click right and cover the little portion of the object. Enter. Click any point and then stretch till the target. Even so, I have a square about 30 by 30. For that I am using the distance command to check the distance. Now the square is about 30 by 30 and if I want to stretch, if I want to make this as 70, then I use stretch command, or else as this is because of the square, so by just clicking the midpoint you will get the stretch by defaultly. Just click that point and give the extra amount, whatever the amount you want to add. So now this become rectangle. You can cross verify by using the distance command. Now it becomes 70. Next command is scale. To get the scale command, you can go to the modify panel and click on the scale. Or else you go with the shortcut, that is SC, enter. Scale is used to enlarges or reduces the selected objects, keeping the proportions of the object even same after the scaling. So I am taking the scale command by pressing S, C, enter. Select the object, which one you want to scale up, and enter it. It is asking me to click the base point. Click any base point in such a way that you want to keep that point in the same place. And now in the scale object, we have two types, that is scale factor method and reference method. So if I want to make it double, because origin size of this square is 30 by 30, and if I want to make it double, so I have to give the scale factor, that is 2, enter. To confirm this, you can use the distance command and then check the distance. So this is how we scale up the object by applying the scale factor. Now I just do Ctrl Z to make it undo. I want to scale up this object with the length of this reference length. Then again I use the shortcut, that is SC, enter. Select the object, enter. Click the same base point. Now in this case I just use the reference because I know the reference line. Click on the reference option. It is now asking specify reference length, that is your original length of the square. Even you can give as 30, or else you can select the first point and select the second point. Now click the specify new length. For that I want to click on the points, or else you type P, enter. In this case you have to give the reference length, that is your first point to the second point. Now check the distance of this object by using the distance command. It becomes 40.25, which is same as that of the reference length. Sometimes I just do Ctrl Z again to make it undo. If I want to keep the original object, also if I want to scale up this, then I go to take the scale command, select the object, enter, click the base point. So if I want to keep the copy of the original, then I select the copy. Next you have to select the method, in which method you want to scale up this, whether you want to scale up it by applying the scale factor or reference. You can go with the scale factor now or reference. I am going with the scale factor. I want to make it 3 times more, then I click 3, enter. So now check the distance by using the distance command. Now it becomes 90, that is 3 times than the origin square. In the next class we learn the other commands. Thank you. Hello. In day 6 we are going to learn the commands like array, join, extend, mirror, rotate, divide and measure. In array we have 3 types, that is rectangular array, polar array and path array. In rectangular array you can copy any object in a column and row format with equal distance. In polar array you can copy any object in a circular way by giving the angle. In path array you can copy any object along the path by defining the number of objects. So let's learn these things in Autocad. So to get the array command, you can go to the modify and then click on the array, or else you type the shortcut, that is AR, enter. So now it is asking me to select any object. So now I have a card. Okay, so I want to select this and enter. Once you enter, you will get the types of the array, that is rectangular array, path array and polar array, in which format you want to copy this object. I want to copy this card along the column and row format, because you can say I want to show a showroom parking now. So you can go to the rectangular array. For that just click it. So automatically you will get the columns and row. So you will get the modification options for the rectangular array, as image is indicating the number of columns and number of rows also. So we have a column 4 and row 3. So if you want to customize these things, you can customize according to your requirement. Like this, even you can decrease or increase. Now come to the second option, that is distance between the two cards of the column spacing. So now the distance is 4.35. Even you can increase it or decrease it depending on the requirement. So same way you can increase or decrease the distance between the row also. I am giving it 15. So this is the total distance what we have is nothing but from this distance to this distance, that is the column distance, and from this distance to this distance, that is the distance between row, that is your total distance. Come to the label option now. So if you increase the label numbers, you can able to see that number of items in the z direction. Let's have a look over that. Now I am giving the value is 3. You can't find any difference in the 2D. To get the label 3 number, you can go to the home symbol and then just use your shift and scroll button. So now I am getting 3 cars along the z axis. Anyhow, we are not going with the labels in the 2D mode. I am clicking again on the top view and make it 1. Come to the next option, that is associative. So now the associative is on, so you can hit on close. When you keep your associative on, even you can edit this array in future. Say same example, you can decrease or increase the columns and rows. Now the next point we have is base point, that is nothing but, so the distance point from here to here we have a 6 meter. But if I want to change the base point, then you can take the base point option and you can change it. It is nothing but now the distance is from this point to this, that is 6. So now if I forget to add any other things to the source object, then you can say edit source. So select the source. It is asking you to, do you want to edit the source? Then hit on OK. So if you want to anything what you want to add, then you can just add the rectangle or whatever the design, just add it. So no need to go and edit in the each object. So only you have to think is edit the source object. Once you done this editing, just go to the last option and it is asking you to save the changes. Click on the save changes if you want to keep, or else you can say discard. I want to hit on the save changes. Like this way you can change the source. The next option we have is polar array. In polar you can copy any selected object in a circular way. To do the same thing, now I am pressing the shortcut, that is A or enter. It is asking me to select the object and enter. So now the select the method of the array, I am clicking on the polar. It is asking me to specify the center point. Click the center of a circle so that this chair will copy in a polar way. So go to the item option. By default you are getting 6. If you want to increase, you can increase it, or if you want to decrease, you can decrease it. As the image is indicating, the chair are arranged in a circular way, that is nothing but 360 degree. So if you want to make it half circle, then you can give 180 degree, or else you can give the between angle as 45 or 30. Whatever the requirement you have, you can change the options like this. Now again I say 60. In order to create the auditorium structure, then you can increase the number of rows like 3 or 4. So like this way also you can apply this polar array. As I already learned this level option in the rectangular way, same way you can operate, but anyhow in 2D mode we don't use this level option. Associative means you can in future edit the array. If you off this and close on hit, then you can't edit this array. So now the third method is path array. To get the path array, I am typing the shortcut, that is AR enter. Select the object and enter. Now the path is R. So click on the path array. It is asking me to select the path. Click the path and you will get the options like item, that will be 10. So if I am going to increase or decrease the number of items, I can't. Because of this reason we have a measure. So you have to click on the divide option, because I want to increase the items in a number way. So you can give the numbers however you want, like 6 or 4. Same way you can increase the number of trees in a row wise also, like this. So in order to create the landscape, or if you want to arrange the trees along the road pathway, then we use this particular array method and hit and close. Like this way, we use the different types of the arrays, that is rectangular array. For example, in the classroom or in the marriage hall, in the theater, we use rectangular array. In order to create the dining table and auditorium, we use the polar array. And in order to do the landscape development or anything, then you can use the polar array. Next command is join. Join is used to combine any two lines which are in the same alignment. To get the join command, you can click on the modify option, click on that and you will get the join. Or else you go with the short key, that is J, enter. Click the first line and second line at a time and hit on enter. Also we can join the single entity square. To make it combine, we use join command. Use your J enter option. Select all the 4 lines and hit on enter so that it become one whole object as shown in the figure. The next one is extend. If I want to extend this line up to the target of this, even you can stretch that point to this, but sometimes we don't get the accurate extend. Then to get the extend option, you can go to the modify option and then just below the trim option we have a extend. We can extend the line till the target which is in front of the selected line. Select the extend option or else you can go with the short key, that is EX double enter. So now it is asking me to select the object. So select it. It will extend till the target. This is how we operate with the short key. I just do Ctrl Z. But if you follow the method which is there in the modify option, take the extend command. Now it is asking me to select the object, extend it and hit on enter. So also I just want to copy this single line in a polar way, as I already learned the polar array. For that I type AR enter, select this line, enter and hit on the center of in a circle. And now this time I just make sure your associative is option off and close. If I want to extend this line till the target of the circle, then you can go to the extend option, that is your EX double enter and then click on the line which you want to extend like this. In extend we have the other methods also. I just go with the shortcut. So now in the command bar we have different options like boundary edges, crossing and mode, etc. Click on the boundary edges. Now it is asking me to select the boundary. First is nothing but your target and then enter. Now we have to click the line which one I want to extend. You can do like this and come out from the command. So I just do Ctrl Z. Again I take the command. Now I'm going with the crossing method. Even you can just select the lines by crossing method. So if you want to extend all these lines till the target of these, so I want to cover. So if I'm going to cover the top portion is extended towards the target. If I'm covering at the bottom, then these lines are extending towards the bottom line. So like this way you can go with the extend method and just do Ctrl Z. One more method we have is quick method. Take the extend command, you go to the mode option and take the quick. So even you can quickly extend the selected line till the target. So you can move upward, you can extend it upward side. If you move downward, you can extend it downward side. Next command is mirror. Mirror is used to create some mirrored copy of any selected object as shown in the figure. In the apartment planning, once you done the one-sided planning, then by using the mirror command, you can get the other side also. Let's work out with the same thing in the Autocad. So here we have a sofa arrangement. So if I want to get the same thing in the opposite direction, then I get the mirror command. To get the mirror command, you can go to the modify panel and then click on the mirror, or else you go with the short key, that is MI enter. So it is asking you to select the object. You have to select the object which one you want to mirror. Once you done, click on enter. Now it is asking us to specify the first point of in a mirror line, that is nothing but, so how to click the first point that it will be imaginary, or if you have the axis then you can click on the first point of your axis mirror line. Click on this and then click on the second point. Make sure your F8 is on to get the straight mirror. And then now it is asking me, do you want to erase? So if you want to keep only this one, then you can say yes. If you want to keep both, then you can say no. Next command is rotate. Rotate is used to rotate any selected object from the base point to the specified angle. To get the rotate command, you can click on the modify option and then click on the rotate. Or else you can go with the shortcut that is RO enter. So now we have to select the object which one we want to rotate. Select these two sofas and enter. So I have to select the base point and then I have to give the angle. I am giving 90 degree so that I am getting this sofa arrangement in a horizontal way. Same way you can take a rotate command again and select this square and click on base point and give the angle of rotation that is 45 degree. So if you want to keep the original also, then I just do Ctrl Z and take RO enter, select the object, enter, click the base point. Before going to specify the angle, I have to click on the copy option and then give the angle of rotation that is 45 degree, so that you will get the origin square as it is and the next copied square will be rotated in a specified angle. So like this way you can use the rotate. Next commands are divide and measure. Divide is used to divide the line or geometry into number of segments. Measure is used to divide the line or geometry by mentioning the distance of the segment. Let's learn this one. So I have a line of 100 mm or 100 meter. So if you want to apply the divide, you can go to the draw panel, expand the draw toolbar, and then here you have a divide. So when you already know the number of segments, then we use the divide, or else you go with the shortcut that is div enter. So select an object to divide, select the line. So it is asking me that enter the number of segments. For example, if I divide it into 7 or 8 segments, then I can give the number of segment that is 7, enter. But I can't find any difference. Before that, you have to go to the format option and go to the point style, and you have to change the point style into any other style, so that you will get to know whether that line is divided or not. So same way, when I have a line of 100 mm or 100 meter, so I want to measure this line by specifying the segment. For that also you click on the draw panel, expand it, and you click on the measure option. Take the measure option, select the object, and then now it is asking me specify the length of the segment. You can say 20 meter, 10 meter, 15 meter depending on the requirement. You can say 15 now and enter. So in order to apply divide and measure, make sure your point style should be changed. So for that you go to the format option and then click on the point style and you can change the point style, or else you go to the utility option and then click on the point style. So make sure your point style is not in the dot mode, so how to change it into another style, and keep your point size whatever you want and hit on OK. In the next class we learn the other commands. Thank you. Hello. In day 7 we are going to learn the commands like text, dimension, multi-line, leader and table. As shown in the figure, text command is used to give the namings to the each room. Just example, master bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, puja room, living room, bedroom, like this. Also along with the text we have mentioned the dimension, that is what is the size of the each room, and also the plot size. This dimension we can give by using the dimension option in the AutoCAD. Text, dimension and leader, table, all these will come under the annotation portion. Let's learn these things now. So in AutoCAD toolbar we have annotation panel. Annotation is nothing but to give the detailing to our drawing. We use this annotation portion. Under this annotation we can add the namings or text, and then we can show the dimension to the drawings by using dimension option, and we can give the own leader dimension by using the leader option, and we can give the opening and schedule by using the table command. So let's learn now the text command. To get the text command, go to the annotation panel and then click on the text. Here we have a single line text and multi-line text. So click on the single line text and click the first point and second point. So make sure your F8 is on to get the straight line, and then click it. So now I want to give the naming to the room. So you can give the room and enter and escape. So now if I want to give the naming to this room also, you can take and type the new text, or else for the same text you can copy it and place it. Press escape. So now if I want to edit the naming to this room, so how to double click and you can add that is your living room, and come out from the running command by pressing escape. Now if you feel the text size is very large as compared to the room, then you can select that text and right click and go to the properties. So here we have the height of the text, that is one value. So if you want to decrease, you can make it 0.5 or how much you want, and then close it. So now no need to change the text height separately for this. I just want to apply the match property which is there in the property toolbar. Take the match property and then select this one and apply to this one, and come out from the command by pressing escape. So like this way you can apply the text command to your room. So now I am hitting delete. Even you can give a multi-line text also. Select on the multi-line text and select the portion like this by clicking first corner and second corner. Along with the room, I want to give the dimension also. Just say enter and you will have to give the dimension, that is 3 by 3, enter and escape. So do you want to save the changes? Yes. And now same thing, I have to decrease the height of the text. For that I right click and click on the property. So you go to the text height option and make it 0.5 or 0.4, whatever it may be. One more option to edit the text is you click on the annotation panel, expand it, and you click on the text style option. So here we have a different styles to change the text. So like you can make it regular, bold, and you can give the fixed height, that is 0.5, 0.6, whatever it may be depending on the requirement. Even you can change the width factor. So like this way you can change the style of the text and say apply, and then you have to click on the set current to make it as a current setting and close. So now before going to type it, you can do the same thing. Now you can go with the multi-line text or single line text, but personally I suggest you to go with the multi-line text so that we can give the naming and also the dimension at a time. Go with the multi-line text and then type it, and then this is my living room or bedroom, whatever it may be. Enter it. Along with the text you can give the measurement of the room, that is 3 by 3, and come out. So if you want to edit more, then you can double click and you select the text portion, and then you can change the color of the text and you can make it bold, underline, and you can change the alignment of the text by using this advanced modify option, and then hit unclose. Dimension. The drawing without dimension is no meaning. So once you complete the drawing, so in order to read the drawing technically, we have to show the dimension like radius, linear, align dimension, arc length, angle, and etc. Let's learn these things now in the Autocad. In order to show the dimension, go to the annotation panel and get the linear dimension. In the dimension option, we have the options like linear, aligned, angular, arc length, etc. In order to measure the distance between the straight line or 2 points, you can click on the linear and then click the first point and second point and click it. So repeat the same process if you want, and then next option is align. Aligned option is used to show the dimension of the inclined line. Click the first point and second point and click it. Now the third one is to show the angle. If you want to check the angle between these lines, then you go to the angle, click the first line and second line, and you can move the mouse depending on the requirement on which side you want to show the dimension. The next one is arc length. So I have a arc here. So if I want to show the arc length, then you go to the arc length option, click the arc and move the mouse to the outside or inside and click it. Same way, if you want to show the radius of the circle, then you can go to the radius option, click on the circle boundary and move the mouse inside or outside depending on the requirement and then place it. Go to the diameter option, click on the circle boundary and then show the circle. Ordinate will help you to show the x and y coordinate points. Then you click on the ordinate and click on the specified point, click it and move it. This is the distance from the origin along the y-axis. Same, repeat it, click the point and place it. This is the distance from the origin along the x-axis. So the next option we have is jog. When we don't know the circle or arc origin or center, in order to show that we use the jogged option. Go to the jog option, either you click the circle or arc, and then click the center point so that you can identify the center point of your arc or radius by using the jogged option. So now we have to click one more option where you want to place your jog location depending on the requirement. In order to get the detailed dimension option, click on the annotate and then you will get the detailed dimension option. Already we learned these things. Now the next option is quick dimension. In order to show the dimension quickly, we use this option. Select that and cover the whole geometry. Click on enter, move the mouse upward or downward and you will get the dimension quickly. Now I want to show the linear dimension to this geometry. So once you show, if you want to continue the dimension portion, again you go to the annotate and you click on the continue option to continue the dimension. But sometime if you want to show the dimension from the baseline, first we have to show the first step of the dimension. So for the next step, if I want to show the dimension from the baseline which is in the red color, then you go to the annotate and click on the baseline option, so that now you have to click on the next point to continue the dimension portion. So next we have is a center mark. To show the center mark, then we have the center mark, click on the center mark of the circle like this. So when we have a two lines and if I want to draw the center line between these two lines, then go to the center line option, click the first line and second line, so you will get the center line. Once you are done with the dimension, if you want to modify the dimension parts like text, arrow size and then extension line, then we have to go to the dimension style manager. For that you click on the annotation panel and here we have a dimension style modifier. Or else we can go with the short key. I am just closing this. To get the short key, we have to type D enter. That is dimension style manager. So now the style is standard. I want to modify in this. You can click on the modify. So make sure which part of the dimension you want to modify. So here we have a lines, symbols, text, fit, primary units, etc. So you can go to the line option and if you want to change the color of the line, so you can change it. So if you don't want, then you can make it as a by layer or by block depending on the requirement. Next, if I want to off the dimension line, then you can off it like this. But normally we show, so that's why I am making it on. Come to the extension line now. This is the extension line we call. So sometime according to the requirement, if you want to off, then you can off it. Go to the symbols and arrow, as the arrow is in this style. So if you want to change it into architectural, then you go to the first arrow and then you can switch into the other type. Next you come to the arrow size. If you want to Change the arrow size. Now the current size is 0.5. You can make it 0.8, 0.1 depending on the geometry which suits. Go to the text option. If that text option is not visible, then you go to the text and then you have to change the text height. So make sure which style you have and then you can change the text style. So as in the previous video, we set the unit. If your drawing is in meter, then you have to keep the dimension unit also as decimal. If your drawing is in feet and inch, then your dimension is also in the architectural. So now I done with the meter, so that's why I am keeping this as a decimal. Come to the precision now. As the dimension is having 2.82, how much round up value you want according to the requirement, you can switch. Say OK. So in order to apply all the things, you have to click on the set current and then close it, so that you will get the modifications as shown in the drawing. As shown in the figure, in order to show the material detailing in the section, we use leader command. Leader is nothing but it creates a line that connects annotation to a feature. Let's learn this one now. To get the leader command, click on the annotation panel and click on the leader, or else you go with the short key, that is MLD, and then it is asking you specify leader arrowhead location. So in which location you want to show the detail, you just click. As this is a wall, so click it and move the mouse and again click to show the landing point, and then now I can say this is 0.23 meter brick masonry, like this. So even if you want to add the shortcut to your naming, then you can add it. But now if I want to modify this multi-leader, then you can go to the annotation panel and click on the multi-leader style. Or else we have one more option, that is you go to the menu bar and click on the format option and click on the multi-leader style. So now the style is standard or annotative. So you can click on the modify option and click on the leader format. So if you want to increase the arrow size, the current value is 0.3. If you want to increase or decrease, you can decrease it depending on the requirement. And then you can click on the leader structure if you want to change the structure of the leader. Go to the content option to change the text height, and then now the current size of the text is 0.3. If I want to decrease, then I can make it 0.15. And if you want to increase or decrease the landing gap, you can. So OK and click on the set current and close it. So like this way you can modify the leader. Even for this leader, if you want to add one more leader, then you can go to the add layer option and then you can add the sub leaders depending on the requirement. Now if you want to remove that, you can go to the remove leader. It is asking me to select the first multi-leader and then specify leader to remove, that is this or this or this, you can remove. The next command we have is table. Table command is used to show the scheduled and opening live, door and window opening scheduled as shown in the figure. Let's start this thing in the Autocad. Once you complete the architectural plan, as per the requirement, how much doors and windows you have, so depending on that we get to draw the table, that is how many rows and columns we want. To draw the table, you go to the annotation panel and click on the table option. So here we have the number of columns and then number of rows. As I already told you, depending on the requirement, you can increase or decrease the number of columns and then rows. You can change even the column width and row height and click on OK. So you will get the automatic table like this. In order to fill up this table, you have to double click on the particular row or column and then you just start to type like this. That is your scheduled of opening. So if you want to change the text style, then you can double click and select the text portion. As we already learned this, how to edit the text. You can go to the color option, make it bold, or you can go to the alignment and change the alignment and finish it. So like this way, you just start to do the opening of schedule. Multiline is a command where you can draw two or more lines at a time, just like a polyline. By using multiline, you can draw the road layout maps, or else you can draw the center line diagram. Let's learn this command. In order to get the multi-line command, you can go to the menu bar and click on the draw. So you will have a multi-line option. Or else you go with the shortcut that is ML enter. So by default you have a two lines. It is asking us to click the first point as like a line and polyline command. You can start doing work. Click the first point. You are getting two lines. So make sure your effort is on to get it straight, and then give the distance that is 3 or 4 depending on the requirement. Just move the cursor and give the distance, move the cursor and give the distance, and then finish it like this. And come out from the command, right click and say enter. Now we don't know the distance between these two lines. To check that, again I am typing ML enter. So here we have a scale option. Just go to the scale option. We have the scale that is 1. In order to decrease or increase the scale, you can change the scale option, that is 0.23. Now, before going to draw, you have to confirm your justification, that is your location of the multi-line. In the justification, we have top, 0, bottom. So if you know outer to outer distance, you have to click top. If you know center to center, then you have to click 0. If you know inner to inner distance, then you have to click bottom. So depending on the requirement, you can switch the options. And now I am clicking it again and I am start doing the work. You can say that is 3 meter, 3 meter, 3 meter and 3 enter. And come out from the command by pressing enter. Just like a polyline, it is a number of lines connected. So if you want to modify or if you want to trim this, you can use this explode command to break out. As you can see here, we have a single lane road. The width is 3.75. If I consider the center line as 0, then your top line become 1.875 and the bottom line will be minus 1.875. In order to do the same thing, we are going to use the command that is multi-line. By default, we have a 2 line. So as per the requirement, we have to draw the 3 line. In order to customize it, we are going to use the command that is MLST, that is multi-line style editor. So we have to create the new pattern. For that, you can click on the new option and give the name and click on the continue. So here we have a 3 layers already. If you want to delete, then you can delete it. And then I am going to add the new layers. In the offset option, you can give the distance that is 0 and then add it. And the top line distance is 1.875. Add it. Bottom line offset is minus 1.875. Add it. So once you add the required layer, if you want to delete the unwanted layers, then you can select that layer and then delete it. So here we have 3 layers. According to the requirement, if I want to change the color of the middle layer, then you can go to the color option and then change it. And also we have to change the color of the top line, change it. Bottom line, go to the color option and change it. So along with the color, if you want to change the line pattern, then you go to the line type option and then select on the center pattern and OK. So once you set, along with this, we have advanced options like line at the start and end, outer arc at the start and end, inner arc at the start and end. If you want, then you can click on these options also. We have one more option, that is fill color. So if you want to fill the color between these two lines, then you can go and then fill the color also. Hit an OK, and if you want to make it as a set current, then you can click on the set current and OK. Now I have to draw the same one which I set it as a current. For that ML enter and then draw the road pattern according to the requirement. I repeat the same thing by using multi-line and then draw it. So if I am going to trim the intersection of the road, then if I use the trim, then I can't trim the intersection portion only. For that we have to use a new command, that is ML edit, and then here we have a different styles. You can go with the required shape and click on the first multi-line and second multi-line and enter. So like this way you can practice the multi-line options. So in the next video we are going to learn the next commands. Thank you. Hello, in day 8 we are going to learn the commands like break, align, spline, region, boundary, wipeout, division cloud, ray, construction line and point. Let's learn these commands. In order to get the break command, you can go to the modify panel, expand the arrow. So here we have a break. In the break we have two types, that is break and break at a point. Select on the break or else you go with the short key, that is PR enter. So now it is asking me to select the object. Now I am selecting the line. So the break is already taken the first point on which point I already clicked it. So move the cursor to the left or right in which direction you want to cut. Now it is asking me to click the second point or else you can give the particular distance, how much distance you want to break. So I am giving it as a 20 or 30. So then you will break this line as shown in the screen. Next I just do Ctrl Z. I have one more option, that is break at a point. To get that command you can go to the modify panel and then take a break at a point. Select the object first and then I have to click one more point on which point I want to break. So I just want to click on the midpoint. So this time you don't get any gap, but if you want to split the single line into two segments, you can go with the split or break at a point. The next command we have is align. For that I just draw two boxes or two geometry. So if I want to align this first box in the location of second or in the alignment of the second, then you go to the modify panel and then click on the align. Or else you go with the shortcut, that is AL enter, select the object and enter. Now it is asking you to click the specify first source point. So how to click the first source point, which one you want to place, click that, and now it is asking you to click the first destination point, which one you want to match, this one. Second source point, click it, and then second destination point will be this and click it and say enter if you don't have the third point. Now it is asking me, do you want to scale up this, because as these rectangles are having different dimensions, if you want to scale up it to the second object, then you can say yes, or else you can say no, depending on the requirement. Like this way you can align. Next command is spline. To get the spline command, you go to the draw panel option, expand this arrow and then click on the spline option, or else you go with the menu bar and then click on the draw option and then you go to the spline. In spline we have two methods, that is fit point method and control vertices. How much smooth you want to draw, depending on that we are going to select the method. So both are little bit same. Just select the fit point option, make sure your effect is off to get the extra smooth while making the design. Spline we use to design in the furniture, or else you can do any interior type or freehand drawing. So let's work out with this. I just want to draw this first point and then move however I want, second point, third point, like this. Now I have a shape like this. I just want to mirror this. For that I am going to use the mirror command, that is MI enter. You know already how to operate the mirror command. Select the object, enter, click the first axis line point and then second axis point line, and I don't want to erase, so I say no. After this I apply the array, that is polar array. Just type the AR enter, select the whole object and enter. Click on the type of the array, click the center point of a polar and hit and close. So like this way you can do the design. Even this design we can customize. For that I am just going to copy this and I am clipping it here. And you can trim the unwanted portion, which one you want to trim, like this. And if you want to apply any pattern and then color, then you can just select it and go to the properties and then change the color of the particular design. So like this way you can implement the spline command while doing the interior design or door design, anything whatever you want. Just I am selecting all by pressing Ctrl A and then delete. The next method is spline with CV. It is also same, but just I am getting the extra amount, extra smoothness from the clicked point, like this. So you can repeat the same process as like earlier. The next one is reason. In order to implement the reason, I just draw the geometry by using the line command. As you know, this is done with the help of line command. That is nothing but single entity. So in order to combine it and make one whole geometry, I am going to use the region. For that, go to the draw panel, expand it and take the region and select whole object and enter, so that it become one geometry. Now if I am going to try to modify it, then I can't. So especially we can use this region command in the 3D also. Go to the visual style and make it into realistic or shaded, so that it become one closed surface. Next command is boundary. In order to get the boundary command, you can go to the menu bar and click on the draw option and then you click on the boundary, or else you go with the shortcut, that is BOU, enter. So we use this boundary command to make any particular selected area into one boundary. Example, see here. So we have three lines. Also we have one more line in the middle of the triangle. But if I want to make only this highlighted area as one boundary, because when I delete this line, so it deleted like that. So if I want to make this as a close boundary, for that I go with the shortcut, that is BOU, enter. Now it is asking me to select the pick point. So I am just going with the pick internal point, for which area you want to make it as a one boundary. So I am just clicking this area and then enter. So when I click, see, you can see it become one closed boundary. Even I can move this closed area like this. Also we can use, for example, is our intention to calculate this area. For that I use the area command. To get the area command, you have to type, that is AA, enter. So I have to click the particular area, which area we want to calculate, by clicking the first point and second point and third point. Rather than doing this, I don't want to calculate the whole object. I want to calculate only this much of the highlighted area. Before going to calculate the area, you just make it that portion as boundary by using BOU and then pick it and click that particular area and enter. So it become one closed boundary now. Even if you want to separate, then you can separate it by using the move command. Now if I want to find out the area of the highlighted portion, then I am going to use the area command, that is double A, enter, and you can click the first and second point to cover the object, or else you go with the command bar and then select the object option and then click the object. Next command is revision cloud. To get the revision cloud, you go to the draw panel and expand it, and in the revision cloud we have three types of revision cloud. So revision cloud is a cloud shaped object made up of a collection of conjoined arc segments. It is used to call an attention to sections of a drawing, thereby aiding in a revision, review or markup. Assume that you are in the higher post and you have to inform to your employees who are working under you that this drawing needs a review, this drawing needs a revision. In order to indicate the same thing, we use this revision cloud. To get that, you can go to the revision cloud command, that is rectangle shape or polygonal shape or freehand shape. So depending on the requirement, we normally select the shape. If you want to mark it in a rectangle way, then take a rectangle revision cloud and just mark it. It indicates that this drawing needs a review. So if you want to mark up with the other shape, that is your polygonal shape, then you just go and then mark in a polygonal shape. So if you want to mark with the help of other method, that is freehand, you just move it freehandly and then indicate like this. The next command we have is ray. To get the ray command, you go to the draw option and then ray. Ray is nothing but it started from the same origin. For that I just draw the circle. If I want to draw the line, multiple line from the same origin, then I go to draw, or else you go with the short key, that is ray. You start from any one of the point and then you just on the F8, and depending on the requirement you can draw the multiple line like this. But this line is infinite. If you want to keep only the wanted area, then use your trim command to keep the wanted portion of the line. Next command is construction line. To get the construction line, you click on the draw panel and then you click on the construction line, or else you go to the menu bar and click on the draw, you get the construction line. You can go with the short key also, that is XL, enter. Construction line is used as a reference line for creating the other object. Example, when you complete the plan and if you want to draw the elevation and section, so we have to take the reference of this boundary. For that I use the short key, that is XL, enter. So you just draw the boundary line, and in order to make it straight you have to click on the ortho mode and then click it. So you will draw the construction line both in vertical and horizontal direction, but sometime if you want only in vertical direction, then take again the construction line command. You go to the command bar and depending on the requirement you click on the horizontal option or vertical option. I am clicking on the vertical now, so that you will get the continuous construction line only in the vertical direction. So like this way you can construct the lines. These are the infinite lines. Once you draw the main drawing, then you can delete the construction line. So last command is point. To get the command, you go to the draw option and click on the point option. In the point we have a single point and multiple point, or else you go to the draw panel and then you click on the single point and multiple point, or else you go with the short key, that is PO, enter. So point is used to place the points with the help of x and y coordinate. When you done with the survey, if you get the coordinates, depending on that first we have to place the points, and then after that we have to track that, and then with the help of line or polyline we have to connect that points to get the shape. So same way here I have an example, that is the first point is at 0, 0, second point is at 10, 15, third point is about 20, 30, fourth point is about 40, 50. In order to place the points in the same manner, I am going with the short key, that is PO, enter. Specify the point. Either you can click manually or else you can give the x and y coordinate, that is 0, 0, enter. Again repeat the same, PO, enter, that is 10, 15, enter. Again repeat the process, that is 20, 30, enter. Again repeat the same process, that is 40, 50, enter. So just zoom it. So here I have a 4 points. If I want to change the point style, then you go with the utility option and click on the point style and change the point style. So like this way you can change the point style, or else you go with the format option and then click on the point style. You can change the point style. Even you can increase or decrease the point size. So once you've done, if you want to join this according to the sequence, you can go with the line command or polyline command, take it and then join. So like this way we use the point command. In order to get the coordinate of this, then we go to the dimension option. Already we learned this in the dimension portion. Then you get the ordinate and then keep in a x and keep in a y direction. So if you want to just to confirm the point, then you can go with the utility option and click on the ID point. Then you just click on the point. It is displaying the x and y coordinate. In the next video class we learn the other commands. Thank you. Hello all. In day 9, we are going to learn the commands like layer and its properties, layer status manager, block and edit block. Let's learn these commands in Autocad. Layer properties in the Autocad is very important because to do any project, we have to create the layers. Layers will help to differentiate the particular parts of a whole drawing or a whole project. Just example, we can create the different layer for the wall, door and window and so many other stuffs. We can differentiate and make it colorful so that easily the client can understand our drawing also. Even non-technical person can also understand. Even technical person also easily work with the layers, so that we are going to apply the layers. In order to do the same thing in the AutoCAD, we have to use the layers. To get the layers, go to the layer panel option in the toolbar, click on the layer option. So when you go to the layer properties, as you know, we have two types of layers by default, that is zero layer and then dip point layer. So normally don't use this dip point layer. So you can go with the zero layers, or else it's better to create your own custom layers. For that we have to click on the layer properties option and then we have to create the new layer. For example, just we can draw one single room. For that I want to create the new layer. So click on the new layer option, or else you go with the shortcut, that is Alt plus N. Then we have to create the name, that is wall. For wall you can give the any other color also, but I keep white. You can create the one more layer, you can say door and give the blue color or wooden color or specific any color. Click on the another layer and then say window. I apply blue color for the window. Click on the new layer and then you can say text or naming. To give the naming to the each room, I create one more layer. Create one more layer, that is for to show the dimension. Apply the other color whichever you want. And for furniture also I create the new layer. And you can apply the layers color. So like this way you can change the color for the layers. Even we have the line type. So if I want to highlight the wall boundary, then I go to the line width option and then here we have a by default different thicknesses and you can apply. So this one we can apply for the boundary, plot boundary also. You can say that is your plot boundary and then I go to the line weight option and I apply the thickness. And even I change the color to the ball boundary, that is red color. You can select the other color also. So here we have a transparency. For the construction line I may decrease the transparency. Go with the transparency option and you can make it 50 or 60 depending on the requirement. So once you create the layer, hit on close option. Whatever the layers we created already, the same layers you will get here. So you can see that is your door layer, dimension layer, furniture layer, text layer, wall layer and window layer. Now let's start with the room. Before going to start, I have to set the unit, that is decimal and meter. So if you want to do your plan in feet and inch, then you change the unit into architectural and set the unit as inch. Now I just go with the bedroom. The minimum size of the bedroom is 3 meter by 3 meter, that is nothing but 10 feet by 10 feet. Even here and there it may vary little bit. So I take a rectangle command, or else you go with the polyline command, or else you go with the line command. Personally I suggest line or rectangle. Then before going to draw the room or wall, I have to switch my layer into the wall layer and then draw. Click the first corner, already you know how to operate the rectangle. Now the room size is 10 feet, 10 feet. I have to type 10. Don't say enter, because in this case we have to give the feet symbol, that is feet, 10 feet, enter. So once you done this, I have to give the wall thickness. As you already know, the wall thickness is 9 inch, 6 inch, 4 inch. For the main wall we can prefer 9 inch or 6 inch. For that I am going to apply the offset command. You can go with the shortcut, that is O enter, and then 9 enter. I'm not going to use any symbol because I set a unit as inch. That's why select the object and move the cursor outside and give the offset like this. Come out from the command by pressing escape. So like this way you can draw the wall portion for your drawing. Now if I want to trim or if I want to delete any single element, so I can't because it is a compound object. For that I have to use the explode. Explode will break the compound object into component. So I go with the shortcut, that is X enter. Select the object and enter. So I have to give the door. So before going to place the door, I have to give the opening for the door. So before placing the door, you have to give some offset, that may be 2 inch or 3 inch. It depends on the type of the door. I use offset command, that is about 2 to 3 inch, and then select this line and give the offset. Press escape. Now I have to give the width of the door. So you people should know the standard values of the doors like 3 feet, 4 feet, 6 feet, depend on the room span. So this is the bedroom, we can go with the 3 feet or 3 feet 4 inch or 6 inch. Go with the offset command and then 3 feet symbol and then enter. Select this line and give the offset and press escape. Now I want to trim the both lines. I can't trim because these lines are ended in the here itself. I have to extend this. For that I am going to use the extend command, that is EX double enter. Extend this and come out. I want to trim, for that I use TR double enter and trim this and keep it here. Now I have to create the door symbol. So you can create the door symbol or else you can go with the ready-made blocks which we learn in the next video. So I have to take a line. Before going to draw the door symbol, you can switch your layer into door layer. You can go with the line command and then draw the 3 feet line and then 3 feet line like this. Always you have to open the door towards the wall side. Now I have to create the door symbol. For that I use the arc or circle. I suggest you to go with the arc. So here we know already the center, start and end. Go with the arc method, that is your center, start, end, or else start, center, end. So I am clicking on the start, center and end. Or else I am deleting it. Go with the circle command, that is C enter. Click the center point and then give the radius, that is 3 feet, enter. I have to delete the unwanted portion. For that I am going to use the trim command. Trim this, zoom it and trim this. So I have to show the thickness of the door also. It is also depends on the material. So we have to give 2 inch or 3 inch as the door panel thickness. Give the thickness. Like this way you can create the door, or else if you want to delete this, you can delete it and you have to join this line. Even you can show the hinges also. Now I have to create the window. Before going to create the window, you switch your layer into window layer. So like this way guys, you have to create the layers. Now I have 2 layers, that is wall layer and then window layer. So let's learn the properties of the layers. Go to the layer option. Here we have a bulb option that you can on it and off it. If I want to hide the wall layer, then you go to the wall layer and then click it off. If I want to hide the door, then you can click on the off option. Or else you can at a time also on it by using the turn all layers on option like this. If I want to individually off it and on it, then you go to the particular layer and then apply, or else you separate command, that is your off and on command. Take a off command, off it and off it. If I want to show it again, then I can say that is turn all the layers on. Next option is isolate and then unisolate. It doesn't mean just draw the other parts by using the other layers. like this. So if I want to on only the wall layers and off the other three layers, rather than taking off and make it off, I just take the isolate command, just click on the wanted layer and then enter. So like this way also you can keep only one wanted layer as a current layer. So once you've done your work in that particular layer, then you can go and then say unisolate. So the next one we have is freeze. Before that, just confirm the current layer as your window layer. So accept the window layer, you can off the other three layers. Let's check this freeze option. Freeze this and this, but we can't freeze the current layer. That is the difference between the off and on. So by using the off and on, you can apply for all the layers, but you come to the freeze, we can't freeze the current layer. So again I say unisolate or unfreeze. The next one we have is lock option. In order to keep your drawing safe, then you can just take the lock option and lock it so that I can't erase it, move it, and then I can't copy it. So like this way you can keep your drawing in the safe mode. So once you want to edit, then you can say unlock. Next one is make current, but if I want to continue with the wall layer, then you can take the particular command and then you can draw. But now I am getting the window layer. For that I have to say make current option and click on the wanted layer, which one you want to make as a current. So if you want to apply the match layer, then you just take and then select this one and enter, select an object on the destination layer, this one. So like this way you can match the layer just like a match property. Let's learn the layer status manager. It's nothing but whenever you want to create the other project, no need to create the same layers every time. So even you can export these layers and re-import to the new drawing. So let's learn that. So you can go to the layer status manager option and then you have to give the name, that is project layers. Okay, so I have to export these layers. Make sure in which location you are exporting, and then even you can create your own folder and then save it. And this file type is .las and then save it and close. So if I am going with the new page, just clicking on the file tab option. Now when you go to the layer option, we have a by default layer, that is 0 layer. So rather than creating again, I go to the layer properties and then layer status manager. So I have to import the layers what I exported earlier. Click on the import option, go to the particular location where you have saved and then you click on the file location. But if you don't find, make sure your file format is .las. Go to the file type option and then click on the .las option. And then make sure in the same location where you have saved and then open it. So it is asking you that do you want to restore the layer status? Yes. So that no need to create again layers. You can use the older layers for your current or new project. Next command is block. Block is used to create the repeated content such as drawing symbols, common components and standard details. So let's learn the block now. So as you know, I created a door symbol here. So rather than creating again and again, so we can create this as a one symbol. You can reuse this for your future projects also. For that, we have to go to the block option in the block panel option and then even you can go with the shortcut, that is B, enter. We have to create this as our own door symbol. Then click on the create option and then you have to give the name, that is door. After giving the name, you have to select the particular object. Click on the select object. Click on this arc and these two lines, the part of the door, and then enter. So you can get the same symbol what I selected here in the door option and then click on OK. So once you click, even by using the single click, you can manage this symbol. Like this way, whatever the symbols you are going to use it for your project repeatedly. So you have to follow the same thing. So once you create the block, if you want to edit, then you can double click to edit it. Make sure you are selecting the same block and then say OK. So it will open in the new dialog. Then whatever the editing portion you want to add, if you want to delete the thickness or if you want to change the color of that, then you can go to the home symbol and then you can switch it into the other layers. Even you can change the geometry of the door. So once you done the changes, so if you want to apply, then you can close the block editor. So it is asking you to save the changes to the door or discard. So depending on the requirement, you can click on the options. Like this way you can edit. So even by using the block option, just below the create option, you have a edit option. Go to the edit option and make sure you are selecting the same block which one you want to edit. So once you create the block, if you want to insert it then you go to the insert option and here we have a door symbol. Just drag it and place it and then you can reuse this. So it may insert in the any other location. Zoom in or zoom out, then select that door command and then take the move command and then you can move near to your working area and then you can reuse this. So once you create the block, if you want to save that particular block in a separate DWG file, then we are going to use the other command, that is write a block. For the write block, we have the shortcut that is W enter. So now it is asking you to select the object. Click on the select object and select the wanted block and say enter. Now we have to select the path. Go to the path location. Make sure you have to create your own folder and then save it. I have to give the name, that is door symbol, and always while saving be sure that you are saving it in a lower version and click on save. So also confirm the unit, in which unit you drawn that, and OK. So in the next one I just go to the new page and then if I draw the any room and if I want to reuse that block again, then you go to the new application toolbar and click on the open option. Go to the particular location where you have saved your drawing and then select the particular drawing file which one you saved it and then click on open option. Once you reload the door symbol and if you want to use this symbol for your other drawing, then you have to use Ctrl C option to copy it and go to the particular location where you want and then Ctrl V to paste it. In the next video we learn the other commands. Thank you. Hello. In day 10 we are going to learn the commands like groups, utilities, clipboard, design center and tool palette. Let's learn these commands. In order to get the group command, you can go to the group panel option which is there in the tool palette, and then here we have a group, ungroup, group edit and group selection on and off. So here we have a bathroom which is made up of number of lines, toilet block and door. In order to add these all the parts into one group, so I just click on the group option, select all the geometry and then click on enter, so that you get a one group. But if it is not visible, then make sure your group selection option is on. When it is on, then only your group will highlight. If I want to edit this group, then you go to the group edit option, select the group and what you want to do, if you want to add or remove, then you can click on the particular option. Now I just want to remove the door symbol from the bathroom. Then you click on the remove option and select the door and hit on enter, so that in the group you only get walls and then toilet. Overall, if I want to come out from the group, then you can go to the ungroup option and then say ungroup. The next option we have is utility. In the utility we have a major option. Just expand that major option. We have sub options like quick, distance, radius, etc. In order to check the quick dimensions of any geometry, then you can select the quick and then you just move the cursor to your particular geometry. So it is displaying the angle, distance and all the stuff. You just move inside to get the inside dimensions of any geometry. Next, if I want to check the distance between any 2 points, then you go to the distance option, click the first point and second point. If I want to check the radius, before that I should have a circle. I just draw the circle with the help of shortcut, that is C enter. Draw the circle like this. In order to check the radius and then diameter, you go to the measure option. Take the radius option and then select on the radius. It is displaying both the radius and diameter. Next we have is angle. In order to check the angle between any two lines, then you take this option, click the first line and second line to check the angle. The next option we have is area. In order to find out what is the plot area, carpet area, built up area, normally we use this command. Even we can find out the area by putting the formulas if it is in a standard shape of the geometry. If it is non-standard shape, then with the help of area command you can find out the area. For that I go with the shortcut, that is AA enter. So how to cover the geometry, that is first point, second point, third point, fourth point. Again you just close it to your first point and then hit on enter to get the area. Or else again I am going to take the shortcut, that is AA. Rather than covering it manually, you just go to the object option in the command bar and then select the geometry. Like this way you can find out the plot area, carpet area, built up area, etc. with single click. Next option we have is volume. So volume you can find out in 3D mode. As our geometry is having only two parameters, that is length and width, let's check how it works. Click on the volume option. Now either you click the manually or else you select on the object. First we have to mention the length and width. Just click it, so that now it considered that is length and width. It is asking me now to specify the height. If I give the height of the building is 10 feet, then you will get the volume in the cubic inch. Next, come out from the command. Next option we have is clipboard option. In order to copy, cut and paste from one drawing file into another drawing file, normally we use this clipboard option. So just click on the plus sign to get the new file drawing. If I want to copy the content of my drawing 1 file to the drawing 2, then I use Ctrl C, Ctrl X and Ctrl V. These are the shortkeys for your copy, paste and cut. So I am going with the shortcut, that is Ctrl C to copy, select the wanted area and then enter. Go to the next file, drawing, and then press Ctrl V and then you have to click it manually where you want to paste. So if you want to paste it to the same coordinate, then I just delete this, press Ctrl A to select and delete. Go to the drawing 1 file. In this time, I just say Ctrl C or else you copy click, select the whole object and enter. Go to the drawing 2 and then here we have a paste option, that is paste to the original coordinate to get it in the same coordinate. We have one more option, that is block. See, already we learned the group. So these are the different entities. In order to paste these all the things as a block, no need to create the block. By quickly we can use this paste option. Before that you have to copy it by using Ctrl C and then right click and you go to the clipboard option and you can say that is paste as a block to paste it as a block option. Next command is design center. Design center is available to manage your standards and it enables you to access named object in any drawing and copy them into the current drawing. It is also used for inserting the blocks from any drawing from the design center. You can open the drawing and then simply drag and drop the blocks into your current drawing. Let's learn this now. The design center you have to press Ctrl 2. So then you will get the options like folder, open drawings and then history. So make sure you are clicking on the folder option. So design center is nothing but where you can able to see the collections of the blocks depending on the category. You just go with the kitchen drawing now because I have the kitchen room here. Click on the block option. So I am dragging it and placing the refrigerator plan and then close it. So before going to place it into the kitchen room, so make sure you what is the dimension of the refrigerator. For that I am using the DI command. Check the distance of this, that is 3 feet. But now I want to scale up it about 22 inch or 23 inch. So you can use the scale option or else you can use the align also. Now I am going with the align, that is AL, enter. Select the object, enter. Click the first source point and then first destination point. Click the second source point and second destination point. We don't have any third point. Click on enter. So it is asking you that do you want to scale up this to the reference line? Yes. And then you will get the particular distance of the refrigerator plan. So depending on the requirement, you use your move command and then move it. Make sure your F8 is off or and on and then move it. So like this way, by using the design center option, you will get the different categories of the blocks to decorate your plan. One more option we have is tool palette. So in tool palette also we get the default different types of the blocks. For that we have to press Ctrl 3. When I press Ctrl 3, I will get the tool palette option. Depending on the category, just click on the modeling, construction, annotation, architecture, like this. So now I just delete the previous symbol of the toilet. For the toilet, if I want to place the toilet symbol, so make sure you are in the architectural mode and then you can find the different categories of the blocks. So here I have a toilet block, toilet empirical. So drag it and then place it and close this tool palette. So now this toilet view is in front view or side view. So if you want to change the view, then you can just click on that symbol. You will get the arrow mark to change the views of the toilet block. Select on that arrow mark. Here you have a front view. Currently now it is in front. So you can click on the plan view. In the plan view also we have the different types. Then again you click on the arrow mark. You can make it as a round, corner or else elongated corner. Once you've done, so before going to place, make sure you are scaling it to the standard dimension by using the scalar align option and then move command to move it and place it. So like this way guys, by using the design center and then tool palette, we can use the different types of the blocks to decorate our project. In order to add these two blocks in your particular layer, just select these two blocks and then go to the layer properties. You can switch into the particular layer in which layer you want to add. Or else before going to place, now I just take an example. Go to the layer properties, create the new layer and then you can see green or plants and whatever it may be. Change the color into the green and close this. So now before going to drag it and place the trees and then plants, I just keep the current layer as the green layer. Press Ctrl 3 and then drag and place the trees like this and close. Now the coconut tree is in the plan view. So if you want to change, then you click on the arrow mark and then you can change it. Depending on the requirement, you can change and then place wherever you want. For plan, again I click on the arrow mark of the block and then I click on the plant. Even you can change the type of the plants like this. So if you want to scale up, then you can scale it. SC, enter, select the object, click the center point and then even you can randomly just click the second point or else you can make it 0.5 like that. One more option to get the tool palette is you go to the tool option and then palette and then click on the tool palette. The shortcut is Ctrl 3. In the next class video, we learn the other commands. Thank you. Hello. In day 1, we are going to learn the commands like template creation, plotting, managing layouts, and insert viewport. Let's learn these things now. Drawing template. Using a drawing template in the Autocad is one of the most efficient way to start a new drawing, which is loaded with the predefined drawing settings. Templates can both speed up your workflow and help to standardize the organizational processes. While you can create your own custom templates, AutoCAD comes with the preloaded templates. So if you want to select the preloaded template, then you go to the new application toolbar and then click on the new option and then you select the predefined template. Or else, before going to start your new drawing, rather than creating the units, layers, blocks and whatever the stuff you want repeatedly, so you can create all the stuff in one drawing and then you can save it as a project template. Let's learn that now. For example, whenever you open the new template, you go to the new and then simply you select the acad.dwt template and open. So we don't know this, what is the unit, limit and what are the presets we have. But you can customize it as per your requirement. First I set the unit, that is UV and enter. Depending on the requirement, you can set the unit. If your project is in meter, then you keep it as a decimal and go to the required precision and then keep it as a meter. If your project is in feet and inch, then you go with the architectural option. Then here you have to take unit as a inch. After this, I just apply the limit. We already learned why we apply the limit. That is original specify lower left corner, that is 0, 0. And then you can go with the example that is about 100 feet, 100 feet. And DS enter. And I keep only the wanted portion of the limit. So once you done this, you can go to the layer properties, create the new layer and then say wall layer, give the color, thickness, line pattern, etc. as per the requirement. And door, for door I give blue color or whatever the color you want. Click on the another layer. If you want to rename, then you can rename it. That is window. I give blue color for the window. Click the new layer. You can say dimension. Apply the other color. Select the new layer and then you can say naming or text. Apply the other color. Create the new layer and you can say furniture. And apply the new layer. So like this way you can go on creating the number of layers depending on the requirement. So as you already know, I set it the units, limits and then layers. Not only these things, even you can set your predefined blocks and whatever the stuff you want the complete the project. So now this one I want to save it as a template so that in future directly I can start my work. To save this, you go to the new application toolbar, save as a drawing and then go to the desktop or any other particular folder. So here you can say that is your project template. Make sure you are saving it in a DWT format, that is your AutoCAD drawing template format. The name is project template. You can say even the inch and feet, whatever the name you want to add, and save it and hit on OK. So if you want to open the template, go to the new application toolbar. So recently we created the project. So even you can find this here or else you go to the particular location. So now I am clicking on the project template what I created. So here no need to set the unit, limits and then layers. You get all the same stuff whatever you have added in your template. Let's learn the plotting. In AutoCAD, the term plot is used instead of print. Before plotting a layout, AutoCAD users can check the settings like page on which paper we are going to take the print, and preview command to allows for the correction of the potential error. Let's do the same thing in the AutoCAD. So once you complete the project, you have to convert this model content to your layout content before going to take the print. So for that, you click on the layout option. So if you have by default layout option, you can go ahead, or else you click on the plus sign to create the new layout option. So now I am clicking on the layout 1 option. So once you click on the layout 1 option, you will get the page, but now we don't know the size of the page. In order to get to know that, we have to right click and then click on the page setup manager. So one more method to do the setting is, you can go to the output option and click on the plot. So it is asking me, do you want to plot? Yes, and do the same setting. Just right click on the layout option and click on the page setup manager. So now I want to print the model content on my layout. For that I have to modify this layout option. Click on the modify option. So we get the page setup, that is layout 1. In that we have so many options. The first option we have is printer and plotter. So you can select the name, which printer you have connected. But now, so I want to convert this into soft copy. For that I can select, that is AutoCAD to high quality PDF. And then in the plot style, so if you want to take a color print, then you can go with the acad.ctb, and if you want to take the black and white print, then you can go with the monochrome mode. Then come to the paper space on which paper you want to take the print. So here you have a by default pages. So now I am selecting the ISO standard A4. So depending on the orientation of the drawing, you can select the page whether you want it into portrait mode or landscape mode. So I am selecting it as a landscape mode. So once you done that, here you have a plot area. In the plot area, we have to select what we have to plot. So in that we have 4 options: display, layout, and then window. Display is nothing but whatever the content you have totally in the model space. And then layout means you can select the particular layout, or else you can go with the window method. So now I am going with the layout, that's why I am keeping it as a layout. After that, make sure your drawing orientation. So as we had selected the landscape mode of the paper, then you have to click on the landscape and then preview. So you will get a page like this. Press escape. So we set it up page like this and hit on OK and close this. So here we have a layout. So now we have to move the model content on the layout space. For that you go to the command bar and then go with the command, that is mview, enter. Then now it is asking specify corner point of view in a viewport. Then you can say the first corner and then second corner. But before this, I'm just doing Ctrl Z, taking the M view. So just zoom it as much as possible, and then you can start to just click the extreme end of the corner and make sure you are inside this dotted line, and then end it to the opposite corner by zooming and then end it. So we'll get the same content whatever you have on the model space, but it is not visible properly. So how to double click so that we are going inside the model space to operate the content of the model, and then you zoom it and then you can zoom like this. So even you can say, that is Z enter, W enter to zoom a particular window. So it's nothing but we have to select the first corner of the portion to the second corner of the portion, so that you can fit at a proper required portion of your model space on your layout. Content, go to the layout option and take a lock option and then select the boundary of the layout and enter. So once you're done, so if you want to take a print, then go to the output option and click on the plot. Say continue the plot. So confirm the things, same what we have set it in the layout option, on which paper, on which mode, and then high quality layout, and then click on the preview option, and then press escape, and then say OK. Go to the particular location, give the name, and then make sure your file type is .pdf and save it.